Greetings. My name is Stan Houston, and this is the Jesus Entrepreneur Experience coming into the weekend. Are you going to take a trip sometime? Perhaps a family-friendly trip? Well, on this Friday, I just discovered that one of my clients and even better friends, Russell True and his family, run one of the top dude ranches, literally, in the United States, because they have just been named number one of the top 10 ones for the family-friendly resort in the United States. And I'm really proud of them, and they deserve it, and they obviously live up to what we're going to talk about today, and that is the secret sign. That's right. If you want to know the secret to life and business success, you have to remember that everybody you meet every day is wearing a secret sign. And they would be grateful if you would read that sign, and they'd be even more grateful if you would actually do what the sign says. Well, I hope I have received a sufficient amount of attention right now, and you're going to give me maybe 10-15 minutes to talk this weekend about my friends who know how to run something well, true family entrepreneurs, and then, because they read the sign, they know the sign for success. And we'll talk a little bit about that. Coming up, this is the Jesus Entrepreneur Experience, the Christian Entrepreneur Network, and we're on the air right now. Well, indeed, we are OTA. We are on the air in some ways, but not really. You see, today you can be OTA or you can be OTT. Now, not everybody can be OTA, but everybody and their business can and will need to be OTT. Hey, what's that all about? Well, first of all, on the air is the traditional expression for those of us who've been in radio for many years. We have little signs, the lights go on, and we're on the air. But today, we're not broadcasting the same way. Many times we are on the air, but generally we're now over the top. And over the top is the acronym for those of us who are communicating, oftentimes using the same visual and audio and other means, but we're doing it through the internet, just like we're doing it right now. And as I point out, years ago when I ran with a radio station that was one of the biggest in the world, 500,000 watts, it had about 5 huge towers, 2 diesel locomotives powering a transmitter that took up a large garage, and we could reach out pretty far. Now I can reach out even further with just a Mac computer and a microphone and a little extra special equipment, but very economical and very reasonable. And you know what? I can reach people all over the world. I can reach people like you. And by the way, so can you. That's the deal. And one of the things we're going to teach you is that in the coming age and era, which started a little while ago, that's right, you're going to have to learn how to use the OTT media. That's how you will build your brand and expand your brand and reach people all around the world with the products, the services, and the experiences that you give. And you got that. A product, a thing, a service, something you provide, an experience, which is even more than that. It can be a product. It can be a service. It can be all of that. It can be more than that. In fact, it is more than that. It is a total oftentimes life-remembering, maybe life-changing, certainly an engaging experience. Well, speaking of experiences, someone who has taken this quite seriously are some friends that I came across because they listened to me on the radio, and I met Russell True and his family. A number of years ago, he heard me on the radio and gave me a call, and it turns out Russell True is the leader of what I now call the True Ranch Empire. And he has a mission in life. He grew up on a classic dude ranch. And it is one of the most wonderful experiences in the world. It's been around for over a half century. And let me tell you, at that wonderful dude ranch, guest ranch, Western Ranch experience, there have been some of the famous movie stars and celebrities. Many great films were filmed there. A number of TV series were filmed there. You name some of the classic Western stars, they've been there. They've shot there, both shooting their guns and obviously being shot by the camera. And it is an experience just for you. But let me tell you something. Whether it was Gene Autry many, many years ago, or if it was the latest feature star, they are treated well. But let me tell you something else. When the True family creates the true experience, what happens is that you will feel like you are one of the most important persons in the world, because they will treat you no different than they would treat the movie star. And they have been recognized for that, because in a real tough competition, they have just been named by the readers as one of the top, and in fact they are the top of the top, #1 family-friendly resort. And what it is an experience. To experience the nature, the history, the cows, the horses, all that goes in to a classic guest ranch, dude ranch experience. And when I'm there, it's always different. I always feel there's a spirit there that revitalizes me in many ways. And there have been, again, many famous people there. And there are lots of people there. The real horse people, the real cowboy people, the real Western people, the people who are a little bit hip and a little bit exotic, who just want to try something else. But there's always families. That's right. It's an experience which the whole family can enjoy, and they do. And as a result, my friends at White Stallion Ranch, they are one of the top. They are the top of the top in terms of this wonderful experience. So you Google or Bing or YouTube anything that gets you there, White Stallion Ranch. Just that, White Stallion Ranch, Tucson, Arizona, and you will discover something that you will probably want to visit someday. Put it on your list. You know, that proverbial list. I'm going to do that someday. And I'd be glad to give you more information. RadioEdge77@gmail.com. RadioEdge77@gmail.com. Now, what I'm going to do is I just put together a little 7-minute video. And so what I'm going to do is take the audio from the video and I'm going to put it on the radio right here. And I think you'll enjoy it. The picture is basically me holding up a sign, so you can use that imagination. You can see me there with my bald head, with my glasses. By the way, that's kind of my shtick and costume. And then I hold up the sign that I mentioned. And for those of you who are catching it on my web experience, I not only have the radio here, but you'll see the actual video itself. But what it's all about is very simply, it's something I discovered many years ago, and it is that everybody is indeed wearing a secret sign, and it is literally the first secret to true success. Understand the sign. Read the sign. Do the sign. And you will then encounter and experience something that will be very unique, maybe life-changing. It will certainly change a lot of the ways you do life, and it probably will lead to greater income in this sense. Greater kindness, greater reputation, greater goodness, greater success, and maybe even income. Read the sign. So without further, let's take a little segue break and then go into the audio of The Secret Sign. Greetings, my name is Stan Houston, and I am one of the co-founders of a new movement which we call the Christian Entrepreneur Network. And we want it to be the spirit home of the growing startup nation, particularly among Jesus entrepreneurs. And we have a regular radio program on the air and over the top called Hey, the Jesus Entrepreneur Experience. And we would welcome your participation. You can be on the program. Once a week at least, sometimes around the end of the week, I want to take just a few minutes to do what I call a PET. P-E-T. And what that means is practical entrepreneurial theology. Now, theology is the root of all of our interpretations about life, business, economics, faith, you name it. If we are people of God, men and women of faith, we have to have our rootedness in some kind of grounded theology. And so that's good, and that's helpful, and that's useful, particularly if we make it practical, and it's meant to be. It's not just for theorists and theologians, it's meant for you and I, men and women who make it, or don't make it, or have to make it in the marketplace. It came to me gradually, but it finally hit me one day on the treadmill. I was on the treadmill trying to get some exercise. It had been a little bit of a trying time in my life, so I knew it was good to start and keep in shape and keep moving and keep exercising. And I was listening on the cassette, maybe you remember cassettes, to a gentleman named Earl Nightingale. And I admired him because he was a legendary broadcaster, and I really admired the way he did the radio. But he also was a motivational speaker and had developed a whole series of programs on personal and business development. And I was listening to him and just kind of paying a little bit of attention. I know that if you just listen even carefully as well as casually, a lot of good stuff will come in, particularly if you do it 3 to 5 or 7 times. And there's a secret there. Let me tell you about that sometime. And all of a sudden, I almost fell off when he simply said this. He paused, in a good radio pause, and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, you need to know that if you want to be successful in life, you will treat every person you meet as the most important person in the world." And then, of course, for emphasis, he said it again. If you want to be successful, you will treat every person you meet as the most important person in the world. I stopped the machine, sat down, and thought about that. And as a result, for many years, I have been teaching people that when you meet someone, they have a sign on them. That's right. Everybody is wearing a secret sign. And you know what? You need to read that sign. And I've put it in many languages around the world. That's right. Everybody is wearing a sign, and they would appreciate it if you'd read their sign and perhaps do what it says. Let me show you what that sign says. Please tell me I'm important. Please tell me I'm important. simply let that sit on your head for a while, and then kind of sink to your heart, and maybe even go to the very bowels of your being, which is kind of an old scriptural reference. Yeah, please tell me I'm important. Now, what I would like you to do is to let that sit in and think about every person you meet is the most important person in the world. Treat them that way. Please tell me in some way that I'm important. Not only in what you say, but how you treat me and how you respond to me. Please tell me I'm important. Well, I obviously practice that rather imperfectly, but it's always in my heart and head, and a reminder when sometimes I walk away and say, I didn't read the sign, did I? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't read your sign, and I didn't do what it says. Please tell me I'm important. Please treat me like I'm the most important person in the world. What I'd just simply like you to do for this practical, entrepreneurial, theological thought is, first of all, decide to do that. To read the sign and do what it says. And to perhaps remember the counsel that came from Earl Nightingale, and maybe now from me. Treat every person you meet as the most important person in the world. As one even further enhanced the message by saying, you either bless or you curse. They're either better off or they're worse off because of the transaction they had with you. You bless them or you curse them. There's no neutrality. Well, what do you think about that? And then, if you're a little bit theological minded, what is the theology behind this statement of intention? Is there a real theology that maybe we should be more aware of and more integrate into our life being and how we do life and work and business? I just thought I would ask, because it is a theological moment, and I would like you to tell me, what is some of the great biblical, spiritual, moral, and certainly God-centered, Jesus-honoring theology that would lead us to say, read the sign. Do what it says. And please tell me I'm important. Please treat me the way God intended me. I'm in His image and I'm seeking to be like Him. So I must be important. Maybe I'm very important. Could I be the most important person in the world? It would be wonderful if somebody would treat me that way. All the best and blessings, and may you take this practical entrepreneurial theology to heart and mind and to spirit, and in the days before you, why don't you do what your mind brings to you? Again, just some theological thinking for your thought and consideration. All the best and blessings. Until next time, bye for now. Well, there you go. Trust you enjoyed it. Hope you have a great rest of the weekend. We'll probably see you again around Sunday night for our Sunday night meeting, if that'll work for you. Once again, my name is Stan, and I can help you. I'm a business performance coach. I'm a personal performance marketer. I can help you do this, become more fully alive, to seek a good life, to build a great business, and to expand your brand. And that's what we do on the Christian Entrepreneur Network, and we do so in such a way that will make us strong, oftentimes strong in the broken places, and in effect make Jesus smile. So all the best and blessings to you. We'll see you around. Bye for now.